Hi, welcome to Trish Jenkins Ministries, Trish TV Ministry Message. And I wanted to share a lesson that I learned just today from my Hills Hoist, which is my clothesline. And it's about expectation. People who are religiously rigid have expectations of how things should be. They have expectations of how God is supposed to answer their prayer. If you're not a Christian, maybe you're spiritual, and you're telling the universe what they should be doing, well, I would invite you to be a little flexible about that and maybe consider who's really in charge. Because I know the doctrine of it's not really a doctrine, just this faith in the universe is that you put it out there and the universe does what you want and it's impersonal and so on. Maybe, just maybe, there are ways to do things a little bit more flexibly and a bit better. Now, I want to show you a video that I shot just today, and I've catered it for the business side of things, but it's about being adaptable and having a backup plan, and we'll talk about the lesson in a minute. Our theme this week is change, adapting to change. Well, welcome to sunny Queensland, and guess what? The weather has changed. It is pouring. This is my backyard. There's my Hills Hoist for drying clothes. Well, adapting to change, adapting to weather. One of the things I love most about this house that we've been in for 2 years is my undercover clothesline. Yay! I actually was so thrilled when I saw this. I thought that's the clincher. Well, maybe not quite the clincher, but one of the key things that makes living here adaptable. So it might be not about business, but it is about the mindset of being adaptable. You've got to be prepared for unexpected change. And my undercover clothesline helps me to be prepared for unexpected changes in the weather. It's still Queensland though. Still beautiful one day, perfect the next. All right, how do you adapt to change? There you go, that's my backyard. So here's the point. God doesn't change. Don't mistake what you think about God not changing, because God might not change, but certainly my perception of God changes and evolves over time the more and more I get to know him. And if anyone's going to adapt and change to what's going to be more true, I'm the one who's got to change. And that happens the more I spend intimate time with him, the more I hang out with Holy Spirit and with Jesus. God doesn't really change. And yet to me, he becomes sweeter and sweeter and just lovely and less didactic and legalistic and guilt-inducing, because that's not how he operates. The more we spend time with him, the more joy we have in our life, the more those things we want to drop off our life drop off. And in terms of our prayers getting answered and likening that to the clothesline versus the one that's undercover, we've got to be adaptable as to how we think he's going to answer our prayers, because we might think that person needs to change, this needs to happen, or I need to leave this job because I don't like the people. Well, maybe God's got you in that job to help you to become more of a people person, to help soften you. Maybe he's got people there in that workplace who need to hear from you because they might be difficult people no one else will talk to. Maybe he's got you there for that reason. So don't pray for a way of escape. Pray to become more resilient and to adapt so that you can be the influence in that place. Or say, God, what do you want? And be flexible about that. Doesn't mean that you're lacking faith and saying this prayer isn't getting answered. It means that you're being smart and allowing him to guide you. So rigid thinking leads to rigid religiosity, which takes you actually further away from hearing from God. He doesn't change, but boy, oh boy, we should be changing lots and lots every day because we're supposed to be becoming more like him. All right, I'll leave it there and I'll talk to you again soon. If I'm on the ball, it'll be tomorrow. Okay, bless you. Bye-bye.